What's up, everyone, and welcome to today's 20-minute mobility and stretch workout. Today, for the next 20 minutes, it is all about just slowing things on down, connecting with your body as we go through a series of body weight, mobility, and stretch drills. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit some hip mobility, we're gonna work into some T-spine mobility, and everything's going to be either dynamic or active stretching as well as mobility-based work. So this one is all about just connecting with your body for the next 20 minutes. All you need is you. Let's go get started. Bring it on down to the floor. We're gonna come right into all fours. Hands are going to be directly underneath your shoulders, knees are directly underneath your hips. I want you to come into cat-cow. So cat-cow, I want you to think about getting some movement through your spine. I want you to inhale and lift, tuck your chin towards your neck there. Exhale and tilt, look up towards the ceiling. Get into those shoulders, get into those lats, and again, really think about getting some movement through your spine. Breathe, breathe, breathe. We carry a good amount of tension into our upper back, so really think about getting this good stretch here, okay? Awesome. So staying on all fours, we're going to come right into thread the needle. So with thread the needle, I want you to reach one hand across and under, palm facing the ceiling. Drop into that shoulder, drop into that lat. Bring it through, back to starting. That's where I want you to add this open, okay? Add that open. You're going to get some rotation through your T-spine, so we'll hit it again. Stay on this one side here, okay? Reach, reach, reach. Open on up. Let's hit about two more. Awesome. Let's bring it to the opposite side. Opposite side. So we're going to reach, reach, reach. Drop into that shoulder, drop into that lat. We add that rotation. Hit it again. Awesome. So staying right on all fours, we're going to come right into bird dog. With bird dog, you're working on core stability as well as hip and shoulder mobility. So hands are directly underneath those shoulders, knees are directly underneath your hips. You're going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg, hold for about a 1 count at the top there, and then we switch it, okay? So back is nice and flat. Good extension. Get that big squeeze. Really focus on a ton of core control, okay? Now on this last one, I'm going to have you hold, okay? So now just hold full extension. We're just going to hold for a 10 count before we go the opposite side. Good challenge here, okay? Back is flat. Big squeeze of that glute. Breathe, breathe, breathe through it, okay? Good, let's switch it. Let's switch it. Extend, back is flat. Just hold, right? I know this is tough. Do what you can. And good, awesome. Good job. So let's go right into kneeling position. I want you to widen out as much as you can through your hips. Once you get the point where you cannot go out any wider, hands are going to go down to the floor. Back is going to be nice and flat. Let's kick one leg on out to the side. Make sure that that foot stays flat on the floor there, and we're going to rock front to back, okay? As you come into this, I want you to think about inner thigh stretch as well as into your hips. Good mobility drill here. And again, we just rock front to back, very slight. Breathe. Good. Let's reset to neutral. And now I'm going to have you go opposite side, okay? So widen out as far as you can. Hands go down, back is flat. Let's kick that foot up. Rock front to back. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Awesome. Let's bring it right into a seated position, and then I want you just to put the soles of your feet together, okay? And I just want you to open up as wide as you can through your hips. Just hold here, okay? Just breathe through it for the first couple seconds, then I'm gonna have you apply some pressure. Good job, everyone. Again, it's all about feeling connected, feeling a little bit more loose, right? So now what I want you to do is I want you to put your hands to the inside of your knees. I want you to inhale. On your exhale, apply some pressure there. Think about opening up as much as you can. Well, let's hit it again. Inhale. Exhale, pressure. Let's try it one more time. Inhale. Exhale, pressure. Awesome. So now I want you to put your feet out nice and wide as you can get them, okay? And then once you're in this position, I want you to reach down as far as you can directly between your legs here. You're gonna start to feel a stretch into your inner thighs, into those hamstrings, and just hold, okay? Make sure as you reach with all of these stretches, you're reaching with the intention to stretch, not just rolling through your back, okay? You could definitely cheat some of these if you wanted to, but that's not what we're trying to do, right? Just breathe. Awesome. Now I just want you to walk your hands down to one side. Just hold from there. Legs are gonna be out nice and wide. Again, reaching with the intention to stretch. Stretch into that inner thigh, into those hamstrings. Breathe. Let's bring it to the opposite side. Awesome. Now I just want you to bring one foot to the inside of the opposite inner thigh, right? That's going to put you right here. From here, I just want you to reach on down to that one side. We're just going to isolate one side here. Good stretch into that hamstring. Now let's bring that leg over, and I want you to hug that leg on up to your chest. From here, you're going to get a good stretch into this hamstring and glute of that leg that comes over, okay? Breathe. Chest is tall. Let's add this rotation. So I want you to bring your hand outside your hip. That arm comes across, elbow on the back side of that knee. Add this rotation. So you're going to continue to get that stretch into that hamstring and glute, but also get a good stretch into your mid-back, okay? Keep that chest nice and open, nice and tall. Good, now we bring it to the opposite side. So let's extend that opposite leg straight out. The foot comes to the inside of that inner thigh. Reach on down. Awesome, let's bring that leg over. Let's hug that knee on up to your chest. Keep that chest nice and tall. Get a good stretch into that hamstring, into that glute. And just breathe. Breathing is super, super, super important. So really just focus on kind of releasing everything as you apply pressure with this stretch. Awesome, let's add this rotation. Elbow on the back side of that knee there. Chest is up nice and tall. Awesome. Let's go right onto your back. Good stuff. And what I'm going to have you do is we're going to work in some glute activation here, okay? So you're right on your back, knees are bent, you're on your heels, hands are right by your side. I just want you to come into hip bridges. So I want you to lift your butt up, lift your hips on up towards the ceiling, squeeze your hamstrings and glutes there, and then return to starting, okay? So again, bracing your core, lift all the way up. I want you to hold for about a 2 count. Big squeeze, bring it right back down to starting. Really bracing your core, right? Everything's moving as one, nice and locked in. Awesome, so staying right there on your back, let's go right into a dead bug. So with dead bug, we're working on hip mobility, core stability, as well as some shoulder mobility as well. So legs are right at 90, make sure your knees and hips are in line. Arms are going to be straight up right from your shoulders, palms are facing. You're going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg, okay? As you do, that lower back is pinned to the floor. Lots of core control. Make sure you breathe. Exhale on this extension. Awesome. So let's stay right there on your back. I'm going to have you go right into floor slides. So with these floor slides, you're working on upper back as well as shoulder mobility here. So lower back is pinned to the floor. Knees are going to be bent. Fingertips and elbows are on the floor, 2 90-degree angles. I want you to inhale. On your exhale, I want you to slide your hands directly above your head here. Think of it like an overhead press on the floor, and then return to starting. The goal here is to work on upper back as well as shoulder mobility, and I wanted you to try to keep your fingertips as well as your elbows on the floor as you do these. If you feel like they're coming off the floor a little bit, right? They're like here. I want you to think about opening up as much as you can, okay? Really think about opening up as much as you can. There we go. Let's hit a couple more. Awesome. Let's go right onto your side. And what I want you to do is I want you to stack your legs, okay? You can kind of support your head neck like this. You can even put your head neck down, up to you. Make sure legs are straight, back is straight, torso straight, all good straight lines here. I just want you to lift your top leg from that bottom leg. Goal is to get into this hip and glute, okay? I would go up about like a little bit more than a foot. So not all the way up here because then you start to lose control, right? About a little bit more than a foot. 18 inches if we want to be exact. There we go. And again, really thinking about getting into this glute, getting into this hip, working on some mobility, working on some strength. Awesome. Now I just want you to bring that heel towards your butt. Grab that toe. We're going to come into this good solid quad stretch here. Okay, so front side of that thigh, right? Breathe. Just hold, make sure everything stays in good straight lines, okay? Awesome, let's release. Now we're gonna bring it to the opposite side. So legs are going to be stacked. Head and neck are supported, good straight lines here. Working on this mobility first, and then we're gonna come into that stretch. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Awesome, let's bring your heel to your butt. Come into this quad stretch. Awesome, now I'm gonna have you go right back onto your back. We're gonna go through a series of hamstring and glute stretches here. Okay, so I want you to kick one leg straight up. As you do, I want you to grab behind that knee. Let's come into a good stretch of this hamstring. Just breathe through it, right? Like all of these stretches, you gotta focus on that breathing. Great work, everyone. Cannot stress enough how important mobility and stretching and recovery is. Okay, we'll hug that knee to your chest. I think sometimes people always kind of equate working out with like an all-out workout and super intense. These 20, 30 minutes of work are so, so important, right? It kind of keeps everything pain-free, injury-free, keeps everything moving how it should, right? Okay, let's bring the opposite leg up. We'll grab behind the knee. So much value in what you're doing right now. Get that good hamstring stretch. Now let's hug that knee to your chest. Awesome, so I'm gonna have you flip on over, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna work into a little bit more shoulder and upper back mobility. So you're gonna be face down on the floor, legs are gonna be out nice and straight behind you. Let's tuck your toes under. I want you to make the shape of a Y with your arms. Thumbs will be facing the ceiling, right? So this is gonna be your positioning here. And what I want you to do here is I want you to lift your hands and your arms up off the floor without arching your back. So what that's going to look like, we're just gonna lift as high as you can, big squeeze of your shoulder blades there, and then return to starting. Make sure as you do these, we're not going like this to get up there, right? Really think about isolating upper back into your shoulders, mid back as well, big squeeze there at the top, okay? Awesome. Now just put your hands right outside your hips. I just want you to push on forward through your chest. Look up towards the ceiling. Legs are kicked back behind you. Just hold here. Good stretch into your torso as well as into your hips. Awesome. Now let's rock it all the way back. So let's bring your butt towards your heels. I want you to outstretch your arms directly overhead. Sink into this stretch here, okay? Breathe, breathe, breathe. Upper back into those shoulders, into those lats, into your hips. Awesome. So now what I want you to do is I want you to come right into a high plank, and we're going to come into this hip opener. So get started in high plank, and I want you to step your left foot to the outside, that left hand. Really drop into that hip here. Once you're in this position, I want you to open up that same side arm, square your chest to that front knee. So my left leg is out in front. I'm opening on up, closing, staying on this one side. Again, you should be getting into your hips, into your hamstrings. Definitely hip of that straight leg that's kicked back behind you, right? Awesome. Let's kick it all the way back to high plank, and then we bring it to the opposite side. So really dropping into that hip. Everything stays nice and square here. And we open on up. Getting into those hamstrings, getting into those glutes, getting into that tail leg hip. Breathe. Awesome. So let's bring it right into 90-90 kneeling position. Great stuff, everyone. From here, we're going to come into this hip flexor stretch. So right leg is out in front. We're pushing into this left hip flexor or opposite side, depending on which side you get in front there. I just want you to push forward, and we're just going to hold here, getting a good stretch into this tail leg, right into this hip, right? Breathe, breathe, breathe. Make sure everything's moving as one as you do this. We're not just rolling through your back, right? It's all about moving with intention. Awesome. So now I want you to add a rotation here. So I want you to bring your hand across. Keep that chest tall. We rotate. And now I want you to straighten that front leg, and I want you to reach on down as far as you can, get a good stretch into that hamstring. Just breathe. Okay, now let's just bring it to the opposite side. So 90-90 kneeling. Opposite side here, we push in this hip flexor. Chest is tall. Just breathe, good stretch into this hip. Let's add this rotation, chest is tall. Let's straighten out this front leg. Reach on down, get a good stretch into that hamstring, just breathe. Awesome. Let's bring it right into a low squat. And what I want you to do is I want you just to put your elbows on the inside of your knees, sink it to the squat here. Chest is up nice and tall. And I want you to rock side to side. So almost think about squaring your hips towards that opposite wall. I know you're not going to be able to square, but think about getting good movement into those hips. Keep that chest nice and tall. Great, great work, everyone. Last couple stretches here, okay? Awesome. Let's bring it all the way up to standing. Let's go feet over under here. So we're going to crisscross. And I want you to reach on down. Just hold. You're going to feel a pretty intense stretch down that tail leg, into that hamstring, probably into that calf a touch too. A little bit into those glutes. Just breathe. Let's slowly roll all the way up. Over, under, opposite side, crisscross. Let's roll all the way up, and now I just want you to bring it all together. Last one right here. Let's just go feet square. I want you to reach on down. Just grab your opposite elbow. I just want you to hang there for a sec. Take a couple big deep breaths. I want you to think about everything you just accomplished. You should be super, super proud of yourselves. This is awesome. Slowly start to roll up your spine. Bring your arms to your chest. Awesome, awesome work, everyone. Virtual high five. You got it done.